Ty Gibbs just won his first Cup Series race at Bristol, and you would think everyone in the Gibbs family garage is throwing a party right now. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. is already thinking about something that has nothing to do with trophies, and it's something that could shake Joe Gibbs Racing to its very core. Dale Jr. went on his own show, and he started talking about the future of JGR in a way that probably made some fans a little nervous. See, Joe Gibbs is 85 years old now. He is not going to be running this race team forever, and Dale Jr. thinks the biggest question in NASCAR right now is not whether Ty Gibbs can win more races. The biggest question is what happens to that whole team when Grandpa Joe is no longer walking through the front door. This is not some small worry either. Dale Jr. was very clear. He believes Ty Gibbs' entire career, every single win he might get for the rest of his life, depends on how JGR handles this one thing. And that one thing is finding a way to keep the team going the same way Joe Gibbs has kept it going for the last 30 years. Let's back up a little bit here. Ty Gibbs just got his first ever Cup Series win at Bristol. It was his 131st career start, so it took him a while to get there. He led 25 laps in that race, and then on the overtime restart, he had to hold off Ryan Blaney to grab the win. That is not an easy thing to do. Blaney is one of the best drivers in the sport. But Ty did it, and now he sits fourth in the point standings after 8 races. In his last 6 races, he has finished 6th or better every single time, and 5 of those were top 5 finishes. So the kid is clearly fast. The kid is clearly talented. But Dale Jr. is looking at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture has a lot of questions that nobody really wants to answer yet. Joe Gibbs is not just some guy who owns a race team. Before he ever got into NASCAR, he was the head coach of the Washington Commanders in the NFL. He won Super Bowls. He is a huge name. And Dale Jr. pointed out that being famous like that actually matters a lot in NASCAR. It helps get sponsors. It helps build relationships. It helps open doors that might not open for other team owners. Here is what Dale Jr. said about it. He said, "He's a huge, big part of their sustained success, partnership, relationships, and all those things. How they carry that on beyond Joe himself is the key to Ty's success. So right there, you can hear what he is getting at. Joe Gibbs is the glue. Joe Gibbs is the reason big companies want to put their logos on the side of those cars. Joe Gibbs is the reason the best engineers and the best crew members want to work there. And when Joe is gone, somebody has to do all of that instead." And this is where Dale Jr. got really personal, because he has lived this exact story before. His dad, Dale Earnhardt, owned a race team called Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, or DEI for short. Dale Jr. raced for that team, but on the 18th of February 2001, Dale Earnhardt was killed in a crash on the last lap of the Daytona 500, and after that, everything at DEI changed. Dale Jr. said the team kept going after his dad died, but it was never the same, not even close. Here is how he described it. He said, "DEI with Dale Earnhardt and without Dale Earnhardt, 2 different buildings, 2 different operations, 2 different businesses. Even though the name's there, the legacy's there, it's just not the same if that man isn't walking in the building." Think about that for a second. Same building, same name on the door, same employees, mostly. But it just was not the same team anymore. Dale Jr. said his dad had this way of coming into the shop and talking to the employees. He had a way of shaking hands with sponsors. He had a way of selling the company and making people believe in it. And when he was gone, all of that walked out the door with him. And Dale Jr. was honest. He said DEI could still be successful after his dad passed away, but it was never going to be what it was when his dad was there. That is a hard thing to admit about a company your own family owned, but he said it because it is true, and now he sees the same kind of situation building up at Joe Gibbs Racing. Now here is the part that really matters for JGR and for Ty Gibbs. Dale Jr. laid out exactly what the team has to figure out before Joe steps away. He said, "DEI can be successful, but it is not ever going to be what it was without Dale Earnhardt present and in the building. That's the challenge for Gibbs, is when Joe is gone, how can they continue to have the partnerships they need to fund the operation, maintain the critical, talented individuals and engineering and crew, and support to build fast race cars?" So there are really 3 big things JGR has to protect. First, the money. Race teams cost a huge amount of money to run, and most of that money comes from sponsors. Those sponsors are there partly because of Joe Gibbs himself. They trust him. They like being associated with his name. When he is not around anymore, somebody has to keep those companies happy, or they might walk away and take their money with them. Second, the people. Race teams need engineers, they need crew chiefs, they need pit crew members, they need mechanics, and the best ones in the business have a lot of options for where they want to work. Right now, a lot of them want to work at JGR because of the culture Joe Gibbs has built. If that culture changes after he leaves, those talented people might decide to go work somewhere else. Third, the cars themselves. All the money and all the people exist for one reason, and that is to build race cars that can actually win races. If the money dries up or the talented people leave, the cars get slower, and slow cars do not win, no matter how good the driver is sitting behind the wheel. That is the warning Dale Jr. is putting out there. He is basically saying that Ty Gibbs could be the most talented driver on the planet, and it still would not matter if the whole organization falls apart around him. But here is the good news. Dale Jr. is not saying this is definitely going to happen. He is saying there is a real chance for Ty to have an incredible career if JGR gets this right. Here is exactly what he said about it. He said, if they can find that magic way to do those things, that charisma and that ability to really, truly be successful in operating the business, Ty's got an opportunity at a solid 20-year career with a lot of wins. A 20-year career with a lot of wins. That is huge. That is the kind of career that gets drivers into the Hall of Fame. That is the kind of career that turns a guy into a superstar. But Dale Jr. said the word if for a reason. It all depends on whether JGR can find somebody, or a group of somebodies, who can do what Joe has been doing for 3 decades. Who takes over the sponsor meetings? Who walks around the shop and makes everybody feel like they are part of something special? Who has the clout to pick up the phone and get things done? Those are the questions nobody can really answer right now. For now, Ty Gibbs is racing well. He is 4th in points. He just got his first Cup win. He is clearly on the rise. But Dale Jr. is one of the smartest voices in the sport, and when he looks at Joe Gibbs racing, he is not just seeing the 23-year-old kid winning at Bristol. He is seeing a team that is going to face the same kind of challenge he watched his own family's team face back in 2001. And he knows how hard that challenge really is.